welcome to Plaid Lattes. In today's video, we will be making a amazing, simple, gluten-free pizza. If that's something you want to see, then do not adjust your screen. Alright. So, extremely simple. I got this recipe in high school, and I just converted it to be gluten-free. In here you have your 1 1/3 cup of flour, 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Then you're going to take about 200 milliliters of milk, microwave it for 30 seconds. If you have a thermometer, please try and check it. If you don't, as long as about 30 seconds should be fine. Then you're going to add a teaspoon of sugar and a heaping teaspoon of yeast. Quick yeast is what I use, and I still proof it. 1, to make sure it's alive. And 2, I find it just helps the dough better. And then you're literally just going to pour it in. Make sure you get everything out. That's what spatulas are actually for, not just to look pretty. And then mix it up. It is going to look wet. You want it to, because gluten-free flour dries out. And one of the best parts about this recipe, I recently discovered, is if you let it sit overnight in the fridge, it will actually almost ferment a little bit and be better. So make sure it's all mixed up. No dry bits, which is really hard because I don't have my glasses on. All right. There we go. And then I'm just going to cover this with saran wrap. Should look like that. Cover this with saran wrap in a towel, leave out for an hour, and then pop in the fridge overnight, and I will see you here tomorrow. All right. So for you, it's been a couple minutes. For us, it's been a day. Bless you. So what you're gonna do is take some olive oil, probably about a tablespoon and a half. Well, avocado oil, and put that on your pan. If you don't have time to let your dough sit for a day, you can just make it, pop it in. It just turns out better if you can let it sit. Spread it out. You want it to look like there's a little too much olive oil on there, or oil. It will soak in and give you that nice crisp back to it. And then pour a little flour right on my hands. So you don't have to roll this out, because I find when you do, it just doesn't really help you as much as you think it would. So a little more flour. This is the President's Choice gluten-free flour. I do find it's one of the better ones. You just want to make sure that it's one that has a lot of starch in it, like potato starch. Ones that are more coconut flour and almond flour are not as, I don't know, malleable. Hoping my cat doesn't knock the camera over. And this will fill a standard size pizza pan. I actually had filmed this all before, and then I made it like this and realized it was better, so I decided to share the best of the best instead of just really good. Flat. It's kind of hard to lift up and show without the oil spilling out, but nice and flat. And then just whatever pizza sauce you like. That is obviously gluten-free. too much on there. I mean, unless you really like a saucy pizza. And then with this one, I spread all the way to edges because my mom doesn't like crust. And while you're doing this, preheat your oven to 400 degrees. I would also suggest taking your dough out probably at least half hour before you're going to do it. Otherwise it won't spread as well. And then you put your fixins on top. Mushrooms. And anything if you like meat, whatever. And then some black olives. Once again, mom's choice, not mine. I only like olives if they're diced up really fine puttanesca. And your cheese. If you have Parmesan, I forgot to get some, but it does add a really nice extra crispiness to it. I will, of course, put all the directions in the box below. Make sure there's lots of cheese on there. And then you pop it in the oven for 14 minutes. And I will see you back then. So now that it is cooked, you want to take it off the pan as soon as you can when it comes out of the oven. For some reason it does stick, no matter how much you oil it. And then you can let it sit for a minute to let the cheese set up. And then, I don't know if you can hear the crunch between the cutting board rocking. But doing it this way, you get an actual crispy crust. Tried lots of gluten-free pizzas and rarely do they actually have one. It's simple. Like I said, if you don't have time to leave it sit for 24 hours, you can just make it and bake it. If you do, it just develops the flavor better. Either way, it is an amazing gluten-free pizza. Hope you enjoy. Till next time, stay caffeinated, stay cozy.